world of YouTube. Terrible Sight here, going over an article I just decided to turn on. News break. I've been having a little brain fart on some stuff I wanted to go over. Of course, there's a lot of going on in my head right now, and stuff that I've been wanting to put up is being lagging. But I figured I'd go on this, and I guess creepy old house finds another house inside their house. Wow. Well, there are so many things that you can think of and spawn off on in your mind of what and why and was this made. Whether it was for housing slaves back in the day, because I believe they just said the house was built in 1908. Or there could have just been some random serial killer, just like them farm, like the Villisca axe murder, and how they claim that that person went and lived in another person's attic on the farm or in the farm, and one of them type things that went out in, I don't know, Russia or something, but where you found the footsteps going in the snow but never coming out. So I'm about to wonder if this was a trend back in the day. Very interesting to find out if, killers back in them days, and how sick and demented, and how, education back then wasn't very strong enough, because, of course, if you wanted to become somebody, they had the education, but a lot of people back in the days didn't even finish school. Hell, my mother was forced to stop going to school just to help with my grandfather's bike shop that he owned. And, it's not, but back then, though, everybody might have been, not very educated school-wise. But what I always talk about in these videos, of my videos, and when I do talk about it, street smarts. The college of classic street smart knowledge is the, what people depended on back in the day. So, I mean, but then again, hey, schooling wasn't, needed for architectural work. And you could see how smart people were back then compared to today. Because architectural buildings nowadays, I can tell you, are just random, bland, plain, and ridiculous. But back in the day, boy, they built up a storm, they crafted each piece, and, they chiseled to carve every little detail they could. And that was a gift back then, and if you had that, right? But on the lower case of the world back then, why is the question, would someone put a friggin' house in an attic? And these people went up there and stuck a camera up there, as you're going to see in a few minutes. And yes, what a freak show. I mean, there's only insulation on the floor before it. Don't know how the people would get in there without falling through the ceiling. But it's got to leave me to believe that maybe there was a ladder in one of the rooms that went up through the ceiling, I want to say, but that don't say that in here, and it don't show it. It just shows them sticking a camera up in the friggin' attic, and there's like a wall with a door to where it goes unknown. Who knows what else could be up there, what was up there, or hell, even if it's just, another porthole to another dimension. The imagination can run wild on what is up in this attic, or even what is why is the question. But it's going viral. The attic house. And it was 3 years ago. Wow. I'm surprised it's now starting to get notoriety. A dimly lit photo. Here it is. There it is. I think we can get that to blow up. But yeah, I mean, it is like a crawl. I don't know, depending on the picture of the phone, it's tough to say if that's like a 3-foot door. So whoever was, or whatever was using this had to have been, ducking down, crawling in, unless they were just that high. But yeah, it also maybe could be an addition that was built on in the house, and someone just left it there. I have a roof, actually, in my house. The old roof. And when they added the addition, they left part of that hanging off, and they cut a crappy, head hole to walk through it. Bump my head every time I go up there. I gotta get a saw up there and cut this thing wider. But you can see it's the old roof. So, of course, before everybody jumps the gun, this could have been an add-in addition from the house. This could be the old house. But I didn't read this whole thing to see if they went into it. As you can see here, there is orbs in this picture, as you can see. So there obviously is some ghost in this house. Others pretty much felt the same way, calling it a built-in haunted house. But actually, yeah, they did go in it. Here it is. Now, like I said, maybe this was an addition, but then again, as you can see, now like I say, there could have been slaves that lived into this house. I don't know if this says anything. Country Windows Certified House was originally built as a residential home, but it was later turned into a church. Years later, it was converted back into a single-family home. Oh, a church. Oh, ho, ho. Yeah, that makes sense. Now they're simply ragging up. Taking years to come back with an update. Image having an entire secret house inside your other house and being like, yeah, I'll get to that sooner or later. I'm tired today, One person comment. Sorry, it's real hassle to get in there. And also no good reason to go up there. Catching Windows responded, but we had to check on some things, so I thought I might as well take some pics. Did you check the attic in that house? Could have other house in it. Someone else joked. So the poster there is actually a hole leading to another attic inside the mini house, but it's not easily accessible. Ha! Oh, Reddit users keep begging for more, including full video live stream of the floating attic house. That's all you can seem to be sharing for now. I'm back with more content soon I have to see if I can contact them people, but yeah, that is just insane. Now see, it don't say nothing about, if it was an addition. I'm assuming this couldn't be an addition. Building around it, it could be. So that makes sense. Build around it, off from it. Like I said, maybe it was something that could have housed slaves back in the day. But what is it? Probably where the body of the previous owner is. Basic logic, so how this occur? How big is that attic? Entire house can it fit in? Yeah, that's some crazy shit. This is some of the house. Leaves. Someone sits on. So yeah, I mean, and then it being a church. So it does look like it was built around. Being a church, that could lead to some real sinister things. Now, hey, don't get me wrong, everybody. Like I say, you believe in God, you pray to God, you go to church every Sunday. You know what? I respect you fully. To me, though, there's some dark hidden secrets throughout the church and the Catholic and everything. God praying, Lord Jesus Christ, sinister things that hang around and lurk in this, atmosphere also. You cannot lie and deny and not say, a lot of stuff's come out in the past, I don't have to mention it. And just to believe and to think that this was a house turned into a church, backdoor residential, and this house, little tiny house nation, we'll call it, and how it even existed into this. I mean, this is the first time in my life, besides finding or learning about secret passages to rooms and walls, all right, besides that, and I've been around history and mystery all my life. My father could have been a pure historian himself. He could have, brought you to places, told you of stuff, and shown you stuff of own self in a historian way, because he read so many authentic books, and and being what he did when he was younger, of traveling through the woods of Ayr, Harvard, Shirley, Littleton. He knew a lot about stuff, and especially, old houses, antiques. He was an appraiser of antiques. And, he had a trade of skill from, way beyond back of time. And I took as much in as I could of knowledge from him. And where I'm getting at is I never, ever in my entire life, and I've been here 50 years, I'm half a century, never heard of a little tiny house built inside of a house. Besides what I said about my roof, and you see the addition built on, and maybe I'll do a video on that. I mean, this could be something like that, and someone just didn't want to tear down this part of the house or whatnot, or they built, around the top of a house, tore down the bottom half somehow and just left this there. I mean, whatever the case may be, this is insane. And just to go through the pictures to see actual, big rooms and windows. Try looking out of them windows. Hey, man, look at the beautiful view of my beams in my roof. Only imaginable. The only thing I could think of, though, seriously, besides sinister things, the only thing I could say that this place maybe was built for slaves. All the underground tunnels of history proven, especially the Francis Drake house in Leominster, Mass, as we speak, was a slavery house that housed slaves. And if they were to get, any kind of wind broke through the snitches that there were slaves there. Boom, right out the tunnel. Tunnel all underneath. There's about, I don't know how many tunnels actually go through this damn town. But I'll tell you, my imagination runs wild. And I can just imagine that there are probably a lot of them. And if you, right, are not an authority of this town, mayor, right, chief of police, anything, you're not going to get any access, nor will you ever know about it. And there was a set of houses that I have to show. I'll have to drive by, do a video. But someone literally told me a location, and the house that was there had been torn down, and new, like, condo-type houses were built. Oh, man! But he somehow found out there was tunnels underneath that area. And it's far from the Francis Drake house. So, yeah, these hidden secrets, especially out in Indiana. You know, I found a lot of tunnel systems out west. Chinese slaves built a lot of them tunnels out there, and they lived in them. So, if anybody's on this, I mean, this could be definitely a slave apartment house, or an apartment. Call it an apartment. So no one knew that they were, you know, in the presence, right? So I think they can make sense of this. Unless the dark side, the sinister side, there could have been serial killers and, you know, or sex abuse, hidden stuff, right? Serial rapist bringing up women or men or whatever the case may be. Like I said, your imagination can run wild on this. But all in all, yeah, this is holy crap. Like I said, I've seen a lot, read a lot myself, and learned a lot from my old man, but never have I heard of a house inside of a house. And this would, yeah, and I'm always, you know, trying to look up things of history, especially what I've learned, like Hammond's Castle out there in Gloucester, Massachusetts. He's got hidden secret tunnels through there, hidden rooms, but not a castle in the castle or a house in a house. You know, them have been a thing. So this being said of, you know, being back in the dawn of time, there's always been something sinister, like hidden rooms. Someone obviously expand their imagination and done this. And that's just unbelievable. And I mean, you can see the orbs in this picture. If you're looking to the left of it, there's two of them there. Or at least one up the side of the house onto your left. So, I would love nothing more to go ghost hunting in that thing. Set my cameras right up. And I guarantee I'd find something 100% of anything, whatever dwells spirit-wise throughout this little tiny apartment house. So, never be surprised, folks. Don't ever say, I've seen it all. Because you know what? There will be never a day in any one of your lives to say, I've seen it all. Because I ain't never seen this. And I've stopped saying that. Oh my God, I used to say that like in, say, the late 90s, maybe mid-90s. I've seen it all. Then all of a sudden, this comes up, that comes up. Now we're up here in the, you know, the millennium years, and things are still popping up. But I can't believe it took 3 years for this to get really blown up on the internet. But I would love to know where this is. I don't think it's said. But I'd love to go ghost hunting. Oh man, ghost hunting. Find out what's really going on. But till that next video, folks, be safe, take care, and beware. This could have rightly been something like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ed Eugene there, whatever his name is, Mr. Ed. Could have been some serial killer. Or it could have been a serial killer. I want to say maybe like the Velisca lived up in the attic. Maybe some whack job built this thing like that. But I don't think that you would have to get the material up there like that. No, someone built around this for something. And I tell you, boy, it's got my mind wandering. Out. Try that again. Technical difficulties. Out.